This video is brought to you by Rebloom. Professional photo retouching results in seconds. More on that later.
Hey guys, Peter Hurley here. I'm a portrait photographer based out in New York, and my specialty is headshot photography. I've been a headshot photographer for, oh my gosh, I started 22 years ago, I guess. I started charging for headshots. I want to talk about gear today. I was fortunate enough to have Matt ask me to come on and show you guys some gear, how I do it. And the main gear that I have sitting in front of me is the gear. This is the stuff that I use. I'm a big, first off, you need a camera. Let's talk camera. We got Canon cameras, we got Faisal tripods. I'm going to go through each one of these separately. I've got the Peter Hurley Westcott Flex kit that I made with Westcott, which is the way I like. I use Tether Tools cables for my tethering, and I'm on a MacBook Pro, and I use Capture One software in that, along with Photoshop and Avoto. So it's a process. I'm using Arca Swiss ball heads, and we'll talk about each one of these separately as we go. All right, guys, so first things first. What do we take pictures with? We need a camera. The most important thing about your camera is that you're comfortable with it. You're comfortable with the system, and then the bells and whistles that come along with the camera, that's important. People always ask me, which camera should I buy? Which camera should I buy? And I think it's all budget related, and then you can decide whatever you're comfortable with. For me, I've been shooting Canon since 2015. They made me an Explorer Lite in 2015, and I started with the 5DSR, and then I went mirrorless to an EOS R, and now I'm on the EOS R5. So I love this camera. I think Canon has been doing miraculous stuff with their systems, not only with the camera, the lens combination. So I'm going to talk about that. For headshot photography specifically, I like shooting on a zoom lens, and I shoot generally on a 70-200. This happens to be an f4 lens because it's a little smaller than the 2.8 for me, and I always shoot at f4. I don't shoot at 2.8 because I like, for commercially viable headshot photography, I don't want that much fall off in the depth of field. Like, I want the depth of field to fall a little bit off. I like the focus on the eye and the ears start to go a little bit blurry, but if I go 2.8 or even lower, I have a 85 1.2 DS, and it's crazy how much fall off you can get with that with the focus. So for headshot photography, I like f4, and you can test this on your camera system, but more importantly, I like 92 millimeters. 92, why 92? Everybody asks me that. I like the distance to the subject, and I like the compression on their face. So if you're shooting a prime lens, and you're on a full frame sensor. This is a full frame sensor on the EOS R5, and I love this thing. It's full frame, so 92 works out perfectly for how far my distance is from my subject. I like to be far enough away, not to be too intrusive, but not too far away that I have to yell at them. And also I like the compression at 92 millimeters. If I was on a prime, I'd either be on the 85, which I have the 85.1.2, which I do use for headshots sometimes, or a 100 millimeter lens.
This episode of Essentials is brought to you by Rebloom Retouching Software. As a portrait photographer, Rebloom has quickly become one of my essentials. It analyzes the image and instantly offers natural-looking retouches that remove discoloration and pimples whilst keeping skin texture and detail. It all runs from your computer with no need for an internet connection, and you can batch edit your entire photo shoot as there are no per-image processing fees. Check it out for yourself. There's a link for a free trial in the description below.
How are we going to get the pictures from the camera into the computer? Because my number one coaching tool is shooting tethered. Why? Humans have the capacity to learn. If they look at the computer screen and see that they're doing something wrong with their face or something, they can usually get better. Now, I don't suggest tethering if your lighting's crap. So if you don't have good lighting and you're going to show them pictures on the computer screen, that's not going to be good. You dig yourself your own hole. So learn how to light and then shoot tethered. If you show anybody the back of the camera and they look this big, they usually look good. So they'll get home and they'll be like, oh, I don't like these. And you don't want that. You really want to coach them while they're on site. So you want to get tethered. For my tethering products, I use tether tools. And they've got a bunch of different options. One, I've got it right here, is the TetherGuard lever lock plate, which is a new item from them, which I'm pretty psyched about. I've got a new one here, but this one's open. And what it does is I can run a tether cable. This is a little pigtail tether cable that goes into an extension cable. So I've got the pigtail into an extension cable that goes into the computer, which gives me plenty of distance. This is the Tether Boost Pro USB-C extension cable. So it's a little booster in there, which is nice. So what I can do is I've got a right angle here. I've got a USB-C here. I can put that into the camera like that, and then it'll run underneath the camera, and I'll put it on its side, and I can attach the lever lock to it if I had a screwdriver, but for now, for show, we'll just use my hand. I put this underneath like so, and then I just run the cable through it. This way I can take this off at the end of the day, and I can get my cable through there, and then I run this out into the extension and off into my computer, which I have on a tether table from Tether Tools. So it's a table that's designed, and it goes into a ball head, which I use the Arca Swiss PO, and this is on my travel tripod from Faisal, which I'll show you later. But tether table goes everywhere with me. The cord goes everywhere with me, and I'm shooting tethered like a maniac all the time. And this is the system. This keeps it locked in really nicely. I realized that holding cameras is not wonderful for the body. I pinched a nerve in my neck, and and it was just a big mess for me. So I really think that if you're going to be doing any extended period of shooting, you should be on a tripod. But there's a number of other reasons why, just not even health-wise, to be on a tripod. It's just the camera height of the person. The person's not going to change in height over the course of the shoot. So I like my camera actually at the level of the collarbone, the center of the lens. So I keep it there, I set it there, and it's on a tripod, and it's on a Faisal tripod, because I'm a big fan of Faisal. I've been using a Faisal for years. I was searching out, I went through a ton of tripods, and I was searching for a tripod at a trade show, and I looked everywhere, and I found these guys that were making this beautifully manufactured carbon tripod that is amazing. So you've got to look up Faisal tripods. This happens to be the CT3472LV. It's one of my it's my bad boy. It's the big boy. It lives in the studio. I also take it on the road with me when I travel. If I'm not doing a quick trip. If I'm doing a quick trip, I'm taking the CT3442, which is a little bit smaller, as you can see. But these are amazing support. These super robust. These things have lasted. They take a beating, and I love them. And I've always touted Faisal for doing such a great job. So I would look Faisal up, and I want you to get on a tripod for shooting for health reasons, also for camera height, keeping it consistent over the course of your shoot. There is no reason that I believe not to be on a tripod. It also helps you where the camera stays where it is, and you can go in and fix the clothes or the hair of your subject. And I even do that even if I have a hair and makeup artist with me. Like, I'm going and diving in and reaching and doing stuff and making sure that person looks perfect. That means when I get back to the camera, it's all set and ready to go because it's on a tripod. Now, on top of the tripod, we need to have a ball head. Ball head, for the reason is that if you're shooting a headshot, you got to be quick. If you're going to move, if there's a reason to move the camera, right, during the session, and the reason would be is if you're moving your subject, you may want to tilt your camera with your subject. I tilt people for various reasons. Generally for something to gain an angle in the face or get the jawline better or something like that. I'm tilting them all over the place. I want to be able to manipulate the camera on the tripod very easily. In order to do that, I'm all about Arca Swiss, guys. So these are quick release little suckers on here that I can put. This is the Arca Swiss P0 ball head. And the thing that I like about it best, if I put let me just take the camera, throw it on here for a minute. And the thing that I like about it best is that it manipulates it, and I don't have to move, I don't have to twist anything. I just turn my hand to tighten and loosen, and I keep it loose, and I move it around no problem like that. It's an amazing element, the way to keep your hand right here and then manipulate the camera like that. And I have to be quick on the fly when I'm shooting this stuff. So the P0 is really nice. I'll tell you what, this headshot gear stuff is not that complicated. So I would say you guys want to dive into it and get right into it. I use a MacBook Pro. I'm on an M2 chip. I would get I definitely would say Apple Computer is a way to go if you're going to do that. But install Photoshop and Capture One. You do that and you're golden. But there's a couple little things, little tidbitty things that I do have that I didn't mention that I just thought were kind of neat to do. I usually have a makeup artist and a hairstylist with me, and it's not they're one individual. They have to be a double threat. They have to do both hair and makeup well. They actually have to even be better at hair. Hair is harder to control and contain and make look good. Makeup, you can kind of tweak it in even with the AI tools. You can tweak makeup, but hair is a real thing. So if you can find somebody that does both, that's great. For women, for guys, I don't use anything. No makeup on guys whatsoever. Because we're going to get rid of any blemishes, so I don't need any makeup on guys. I actually have had a bunch of people come in here and I've had them wash their face. I had a guy full makeup with his makeup artist walk in, and I was like, go wash your face, you get out of here. The guy was so pissed. I was like, I don't need you. No makeup on guys. But if a guy comes in and he's got a little excess shine, I like a little dewiness to the skin, but I don't like it shiny. I want my highlights to transition well into my midtones. So if they get shiny, I got a couple things for you. One is, these are simple oil blotting tissues, cheap on Amazon. Grab them and you blot. You do not rub. You do not have them rub because they will get wet. They will get red. So if you just blot like this, and you should get. I'm not oily at all really today. Look at that. Who knew? And now if you have a real case, you can get something like this. This is Peter Thomas Roth anti-shine mattifying gel, and you put on like sunscreen. And you squeeze out a little dollop, you have them do it. I just squeeze in their hands. I'm like, look, put this on like sunscreen. Nose, cheeks, forehead. If they got a clean noggin, you got to get that noggin shine down. This stuff will do it. There's other products online. I tested all of them, and this is probably one of the best, but it's also fairly expensive. Another thing is that sometimes with women, they curl their eyelashes. Like I have a hairstyle makeup artist here, he's gonna curl women's eyelashes, put mascara on, the whole nine. But if I have a guy, sometimes guys actually, their eyelashes grow straight down and their eyeball has to look through them. So on occasion, I do take this everywhere with me though, I will teach a guy how to curl his eyelash. This is an eyelash curler. It's a little tiny one. You can get this on Amazon too. Just search for a little eyelash curler. It looks like this. You take it everywhere, and when you ask a guy to curl his eyelashes, you'll get a strange response. But it could be interesting, and it might help you with your pictures. So that's really the most important thing. So that's it, guys. We got all this. We got little tidbits of information. I would love for you to, if you find anything on my YouTube channel where I'm talking about headshots, there's a slew of information there. So go to Peter Hurley Photo on YouTube and check that out. But also check out the Headshot Crew. We've got a link below that'll give you an offer off your membership for the first year. So come join me, take headshots, make some money with it. I have a referral and coaching program. It's an ongoing coaching program as well as a referral engine for you to get jobs if your work gets up to snuff. So I'm happy to get you there. But it all starts with gear. Thanks, Matt, for having me. And by the way, guys, there's one word I guess I got to leave with, because otherwise everybody gets upset with me. 3, 2, 1. SHABANG.